In the previous clip, we have extended the navigation view model to publish the OpenFriendEditView event. Behind the scenes, we have introduced the navigation item view model, which does the real work. But that's just an implementation detail. Now let's focus on the main view model and let's subscribe to that event. When the event appears, we want to create a FriendEditView model and we want to call the load method on that FriendEditView model with the friend ID that we have received from the OpenFriendEditView event. Alright, so let's start now with that part in the main view model. You will learn now in this demo how to open a tab in the main view model. Then we will ensure that we open just one tab per friend. We don't want to have multiple tabs open with the same friend. And after we have done this, we also need to ensure that the property changed event is fired for the selected FriendEditView model property of the main view model. Alright, so let's start with opening a tab in the main view model. When you look at the main window of the friend storage application, you see that it contains a tab control that is used to display the friends. The item source property of that tab control is bound to a FriendEditViewModels property. The selected item property is bound to a selected FriendEditViewModel. So we need to create these two properties in our main view model. Let's do this. Let's add here a public property of type observable collection that contains FriendEditViewModels. And we call the property FriendEditViewModels like it is used in the UI. Okay. We also need a using directive for system collections object model. Now let's add a second property for the selected FriendEditView model. I first write the field because then I can right click on the field and I can choose here quick actions and encapsulate field and use property. Okay, now I have here a nice property. Let's just cut the field here and let's move it to the top of the class. Okay. Now in the constructor, I want to initialize my FriendEditViewModels property with a new observable collection. Alright, so far we are done. We have the FriendEditViewModels property and we have the selected FriendEditViewModel property like they are used in the UI in the tab control. Now when we go back to the main view model, we need to create here new FriendEditViewModels when this OpenFriendEditView event is fired. But we don't want to call the constructor of the FriendEditViewModel in that main view model class. We have already found out for the navigation view model that calling a constructor is not a really good idea because if the constructor changes, you have to adjust the main view model as well. So instead of calling a constructor, we want to use AutoFac to create the FriendEditViewModels for us. But how can we do this? We just introduce an interface. Let's go to the FriendEditViewModel and let's add an interface here that we just call iFriendEditViewModel. Okay, and the FriendEditViewModel of course implements that interface. Now we can go back to the main view model and in the constructor we just take a func that can return iFriendEditViewModels. And we call the func FriendEditVMCreator. Okay, and we store that creator in a field. Alright. Now let's also replace the FriendEditViewModel with our interface in our properties. Before we go to the tests, we add another constructor parameter to the main view model. as we need to subscribe to the event, we also need the event aggregator. Alright, now we have all the properties and the constructor parameters in the main view model. Before we implement the logic to open up a tab, let's write the unit test. Now, let's write a unit test that when the Open Friend Edit View event is published, a Friend Edit View model is created and added to this Friend Edit View model's property. And the created Friend Edit View model should also be assigned to the selected Friend Edit View model property. Okay, so let's write this unit test. Let's jump to the main view model's test class. And as you can see, the constructor of the main view model is underlined because we are missing some constructor parameters. So the first thing we are missing is the func to create the friend edit view models. Let's just use a method here, create friend edit view model. Okay, and we let Visual Studio create that method. We will implement it in a minute. Now we also need a parameter for the event aggregator. So let's create a mock here for the iEventAggregator interface. And let's store that mock in the field EventAggregator mock. Now we want to set up the getEvent method on our event aggregator for the Open Friend Edit View event. Okay, and when this method is called, we want to return a real event. So let's create that event here. Open Friend Edit View event. Okay, and we also store it in a field. And now let's just use it as a return value for the event aggregator's getEvent method. Now let's pass in our event aggregator mock object to the main view model's constructor. Alright, so we are done with the setup except that create friend edit view model method. In this method, we just create a friend edit view model mock. And then from that method, we just return the value of the object property. To be able to access the mocks we have created here, we can store these mocks in a list. So let's just copy the type here and let's scroll up and let's create here a list of mocks for iFriend Edit View models. And let's call that Friend Edit View Model Mocks. Okay, we need a using for system collections generic and we initialize that list in our constructor. Alright, now in that create friend edit view model method, we can just add our mock to that list. Then we can access it in the unit tests. Alright, now we have set up everything we need. Let's see if we can build our solution. Okay, we have one error where the interface iFriend Edit View Model can't be converted to a Friend Edit View Model. So here we just forgot to adjust the selected Friend Edit View Model field in our main view model. So let's make that field also of type iFriend Edit View Model. Alright, that's good. Now let's go to the main view models test and let's write our test. Let's call the test should add friend edit view model and load and select it. Okay. For sure, if you have such a test method like and load and select it, you can think about putting it into separate test methods. In this case, I want to keep one method because testing these things is quite simple. So the first thing I do again, I define a constant with a friend ID. Then I use the Open Friend Edit View event and I publish that event with this friend ID. Now I assert that my main view model, which is stored in the view model field, has exactly one friend edit view model in the friend edit view models property, because that event has been published. Now I also grab the first friend edit view model. Okay, I need the system link namespace to use the first extension method. And now I can also assert that that view model is selected. So let's say we assume that the view model that has been loaded is also stored in the selected friend edit view model property. Finally, we also want to verify that the load method of our friend edit view model has been called, so that the friend edit view model can actually load the real friend. So now we use our friend edit view models mocks field, where we have stored the friend edit view model mock, and we grab the first, we just have one, and we call the verify method on that mock. We want to verify that the load method of the friend edit view model has been called with our friend ID, and exactly once. Okay, the load method does not exist yet in the friend edit view model, so let's generate that method in the interface. Okay, let's go to the interface and let's also add that method as an implementation in the friend edit view model. We don't care about it now, we just want to have it in the interface so that we can run our tests for the main view model. Alright, now let's run that test. And for sure, the test is red. Now we can focus on the implementation. Okay, we have a red test for our main view model. We need to add the friend edit view model and load it when the Open Friend Edit View event is fired. So let's do this now. Let's go to the main view model. In the constructor, where we receive the event aggregator, we just grab the Open Friend Edit View event. On that event, we call the subscribe method. And as a handler, we say on Open Friend Edit View. Okay, let's generate that method. And in that method, we need to create a friend edit view model. To do this, we can use our func, which is stored in that friend edit VM creator field. So let's create a new variable here that we call friend edit VM, and we just call the func to create that view model. Then we add that view model to our friend edit view models collection. Next, on our friend edit view model, we call the load method with the friend ID that we have received from the event. That friend ID is here used as a parameter, so let's name it correct, friend ID. And we call the load method on our friend edit view model with that ID. Finally, we also set the selected friend edit view model property to that friend edit view model. Okay, let's save it and let's see if our test is green. Alright, our test is green. Now let's write another test to ensure that every friend is just opened up once.